Hey guys, I'm Jeff the Homestead Dad and welcome back to the Homestead. Today, we spent this morning over working for, can you believe it? We live out in the country, we have a homeowners association, but our homeowners association is super cool and we have a shared piece of property on a lake. It's actually awesome. I was a little bit concerned, but it's awesome. Everybody's great. We spent some time doing that this morning, working on that piece of property. Now, we're getting ready to plant some trees. You can see here, we've got our bare root trees, some bare root trees here. We actually have a couple in 5-gallon buckets that we bought from Sam's Club. Got about 23 trees to plant. We've got about an hour and a half before we need to start getting ready to go to a party. So we're gonna see how many we can get in the ground. And then we're gonna go to the party and we'll finish up what we can't get done today, tomorrow. I've got a great crew helping me. Got Addie here, Lou's digging over there. Grace is digging right there. James is getting a shovel over there. So I'm gonna start planting and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so my crew is outstanding. The little ones kind of left. These two girls are rock stars. They've dug all of these holes. So I've gotten 4 peaches planted. There's 1 peach here, 1 peach here, 1 peach there, and then 1 peach over in that hole right there, right there. I'm going to keep planting. I'm gonna go grab the bigger trees that we have because I want to keep them closer to the house. The thing that we're running into, it's been a really wet spring. Look at the hole. It's half full of water. You get down about 6-8 inches and we've hit water, which means that maybe this is a good place to put a pond, or maybe it's just super duper wet. So we're gonna plant. The good news is we shouldn't end up with dried out trees. The hope is that we don't end up with drowned trees. What's that? Yeah, so as we're digging them, they're kind of filling up with water. That's what Grace just said. See, you can see the water starting to get in there. But when you plant bare root trees, you really want to step them down and stomp them down, and then you want to water them good because you don't want air contact with the roots. That's not going to be an issue here. When I'm stomping them down, there's like water squishing out of the hole. So the reinforcements have arrived, or the supervisors, the baby, who you guys probably have not seen on the channel hardly at all, my wife and the baby, and then James. So they're here to supervise, make sure we get these planted correctly before we gotta go to our party. So let's keep planting. You want to say hi to the channel? I don't think you've ever been on the channel. This is maybe your YouTube debut. You're coming to make sure that the trees are being planted right. Mama's got you covered up from the sun so you don't get burned. No baby burns. And then we got a little helper who was helping earlier, kind of tuckered out and went to go hang out with Mama. So with apple trees, you want where the union of the scion, which is the upright part, the new tree, and the root stock, you want that union to be about 2 inches above ground. So you girls, just so you're aware, that's probably like pretty close to being too low. It should probably be okay, but if you haven't stomped everything down, you could probably pull it up a little bit, put some dirt underneath it. You just don't want to rip the roots out when you're pulling it up. So these girls are putting that in. We've got Addie is helping plant this tree. Same thing, we want to get just a smidge higher, sweetheart. So, and then you can always trim the roots. Like if the roots are a little bit too long for your hole, you can trim them a little bit. You can see this root right here is very thick and pretty deep. So like this hole is gonna have to go deeper in order for this tree to go in there. Same thing with that. These are actually pear trees, and I've never had really good luck with pear trees. I'm just gonna show you maybe a different root. So you can kind of see, like on this root, like if this string of the root going this way got a little bit too long, you could just take your shovel and kind of chop it off and shorten it up if you needed to. But we'll probably just make this hole a little bit wider so that it fits the tree better. But you can see they're getting it all in there. And one of the things when you're digging your hole, you want to leave the dirt right next to your hole, because you think, oh yeah, you know, I'll be able to scrape all of the dirt back in, but there's a ton of dirt right here that, you know, no matter how much scraping you do, it's really never going to get back in there. So you don't want to lose dirt because you don't want the ground to be indented too much. You can have it indented a little bit to hold water, but you don't want it indented too much. So we may actually get this done. High five. We may actually get this done before we have to go, because these two girls are superstars and they're almost single-handedly getting the orchard planted. So once we get this done, I don't know if you guys can see, so there's a T-post there and on the four corners. Just that was kind of to give me an outline. It's about 50 by 50 and we're actually doing 12-foot spacing. So if you do the math, we're doing 5 rows of 5 trees. It's 48 feet. So each T-post is a foot past the corner of the orchard. My plan in the future is to probably extend the orchard this way. So for now, I'm just going to use T-posts around. I'm going to use electric wire just to try to keep the deer out of here so they're not gnawing on the trees. But eventually I'll put wooden posts at least on the corners, if not closer than that, and probably go up higher, because even if I put a 6-foot T-post in here, the deer can jump over it if they want. The good news is they've got plenty to eat now. I'm gonna have somebody come in with a skid steer and a forestry mulcher and knock down all of the scrub brush in the front here. And then the garden's gonna go between the house and the orchard. And if we do a high tunnel, it'll probably go over here. And then the animals will be more towards the front of the property. So we're gonna keep working. Oh, baby, baby, baby. Oh, I guess you kind of got it straight. It's just kind of bent over. You're doing okay. Hey girls, when you're done with that, maybe you can help Addie. She's doing it all by herself. And I want to encourage her because she's 6 years old and she wants to help. And if I tell her she can't help now, she won't volunteer to help later. And so I want to keep her involved, because then I get girls like this and this who are all stars. They are my hardest workers by far. Don't tell my boys that. And Jonah's not here. He'd be out here helping if he were here. But yeah, that's what we're doing. So I want to show you the difference. So you can see that tree right there is in a pot. That tree we bought at Sam's Club. It was $37, as opposed to the rest of these trees, which were shipped bare root. And what we did, actually I'll tell you. So these are $16 to $18 a piece. So for a little bit more than twice the money, you'll be closer to fruit sooner. But I wasn't going to spend $37 a tree for 20 trees. Like, that gets pretty expensive pretty fast. Now, my plan was, because we had to leave the old, where we moved from the old homestead to here, I wanted to get started with the orchard as soon as possible. So if I can find a couple more like this, I'll plant a couple more, and then I'll plant 5 or 6 trees every year. I'll just either add on to the orchard, or I'll do a little grove someplace else and do that. The reason that bare root trees are so nice is because they're really inexpensive. And if you go to Tractor Supply, they will sell a tree like this that's actually smaller and narrower than this tree for more of the same money. You get probably like $20, $15 to $20, but they're not nearly as big a caliper. They don't have as big a root ball, and I've not had good success with these. These ones, we did a group buy with a friend of mine. We just got a whole bunch of friends. So you guys have met Chaz if you watch the channel for any amount of time. Chaz and I organized a group buy, and I think it was, you had to have at least 100 trees or 200 trees. So we got a bunch of people, posted on Facebook, and all my friends who I know that like fruit trees, and we ordered over 200 trees. And you get much nicer trees than you'd get at Home Depot or Tractor Supply or whatever for similar price. So that's what we did. Anybody can do that. You just have to find the right nursery supply place, and you can do that. So that's what we're doing. We're almost done. We're gonna have to hurry out of here. So this is our orchard. Let me kind of stand over here in the corner and show you. And I could not have done this without my children, especially Grace and Lou. They dug so many of these holes, but we've got 23 trees planted. This row here, so there's 5 rows. There's 2 open holes right there. And the girls are like, wait a second, why did we dig those holes if we don't have trees for them? Because I'm gonna go, even if it's Tractor Supply or someplace, I'm gonna find 2 more trees if I can't find the bigger ones like Sam's Club. And I'm gonna put trees in there, so we've got a 5x5. And then, like I said, I'll just keep on adding on every year. If a tree dies, we'll replace it and we'll just move on from there. But here's our orchard. Isn't that nice? Instant orchard in don't know, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. We went from nothing. Now I say that, but all of this used to be thicket like that. So it took me a while to get this all cut down because there were some bigger trees in here that I had to go over several times, and there were roots that we had to get an axe and cut out. But we went from nothing to an orchard in less than 3 hours, probably less than 2 hours. So grab some friends, build yourself an orchard. You'll enjoy it and your kids will enjoy it. Hopefully my kids will enjoy it, and we'll have lots of fruit soon. I think we're gonna have fruit apples on those 3 trees this year. There's flowers and there's buds on them. I think we're gonna get apples. Maybe it's just a few, but I'll take it. Thank you guys so much for watching. God bless you and your family. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. We've got our little lemonade maker. She made fresh made lemonade. So I got a little bit of fresh squeezed lemonade. God bless you and your family. We'll see you guys in the next video.